Hello. It is Friday night. Wild and crazy Friday night. I just had a really good game with a friend and my sister and my niece. We played Rumicube. And now I'm going to do the solo Mahj. I'm doing a little different just so that I don't waste time drawing out of the bag. I'm going to pause. What I did was I just grabbed a handful, 14, that may be contentious, but if it's just me, why not pretend to be East? Why not start with 14? I've got stacked in front of the rack there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of 3. That's my Charleston. I've got it already lined out so I don't have to waste time digging in the bag. Additionally, to my left, I've got 24 stacks of 3. And those are my opponent stacks that I'm going to just grab little stacks of 3 just to save time from drawing out of that bag you see in the top left every single time. I hoped that I'll be able to make this go quickly. Check out my lighting setup. Not too bad, huh? Did not do too bad. I've got my ring light, plus I got 2 little mini lamps on either side, left and right, of my hands there. I threw these on the rack. I'm holding the rack still with my right hand. And I was only halfway done putting them up there, and the hand was just staring me in the face. The tiles built their own hand. It was obviously that world famous 2468 hand that has the matching Kongs with the matching dragon. So it just leapt out at me. Initially, I messed up where I've got the 2468 in cracks. There are the cracks. I realized, look, I've got 2468, so I just flipped him over to the other side. 468. I wonder if I messed that up. I don't see it too. Ooh, I hope I didn't mess it up. So at first I was contemplating, do I do 2468? Do I do 369? I pulled that out thinking I was going to do 369s. But I'm like, nope, that 2468 is just too good to miss. So I decided, let me kick out everything that's not an even. And then even if it's not the 2468, maybe I haven't noticed it just yet. So even though I'm playing solo Mahj, I'm not playing anybody, I'm still practicing by doing the Charleston with not giving them a good hand. I'm going to try and mix it up and do one of each suit. I'm not going to pass a joker. I'm not going to pass a pair. I'm not going to pass a dragon, which I did very stupidly pass a dragon that I needed, but thankfully I got it later in the game. So I just flipped the cracks to the far left of the rack because there's my 2468. Now I need 2 sets of Kongs in opposites. I initially had the BAMs, and then I was trying to figure out, and I didn't know at first it was going to be 8s, but I figured it out. But I did make a mistake, and I was going to do Kongs and BAMs and cracks, and that was my mistake. My 2468 is in cracks, so I needed the 2 sets of Kongs, which is 4, to be in opposite suits. So I realized after a few turns, I'm like, oh man, those Kongs of 8 need to be dots, not cracks. But I fixed it. Here I am going along with my Charleston. You see, every time I move my arm to the right, I touched my lamp and turned it off. That'll happen a few more times. I don't learn very quickly. It takes a minute for me to catch on to something. And did I tell you what a good day it was? I did another video earlier. I went and got my nails done. I worked though. I worked today. All right, moving on with the Charleston. Let's see what we got next. So if we were doing this Charleston legitimately, it would have been right, and then passed over, and then passed left, and then pause to see if you want to do the second set. And so I think I've moved on. No, I'm about to be done with the first round of the Charleston. I see I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 in cracks. Now I'm trying to decide that hand. You can do 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 in opposite suits. And here I have even across the board. I have 2, 4, 6 and 2 other suits. But I told you I messed up and I was doing them in cracks when I should have been doing them in dots. Let's look at that hand right now. So 2, 4, 6, 8 section, third from the bottom. You see on the left in green, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. So whatever suit you do it in, and I just so happen to do it in cracks, the opposite suit there of Kong's can be 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 with a matching dragon. So the 2, 4, 6, 8 is in cracks. That means the other two suits need to be dots and bams. And it says, let me get rid of that little line holder. Any three suits like Kong's 2, 4, 6, or 8. Let me move my dumb finger out of the way. With matching dragon. And that's the key there. I had a dragon and I very dumbly passed it away in the Charleston. Let me see. I don't see it there. Am I just imagining it? Maybe I already got rid of it. Or maybe I'm about to get it and then I got rid of it dumbly. So moving on to the Charleston. What do we got here? Joker. Nope, nope, nope. You do not pass jokers in the Charleston. Toss him back in the bag and draw another one. Got a bird bam. Don't need him. Got a 2 crack, and this was before I realized I was going to go with 8s. So I'm going to toss those in the Charleston. Bye-bye. Next Charleston stack, we got 4 dots. And I've got a 4 bams. So at this point, I didn't know, am I going to do 4 4s or 6s or 8s? Got an east and got a 3 bam. So let's stick with those dots and get rid of those dots. I think that's what I did. There we go. Almost done with the Charleston. Almost ready to get started. Man, I need to straighten up my dining room. Look at all that stuff everywhere. I need to put it up in a way. 5 bam and a 7 bam and a 5 crack. Don't need nary none of them. My grandma, well, actually a great aunt said that she heard her grandmother say that, nary none. Nary none. Let's see. Got a 5 dot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I'm good. And an 8 bam. I need him. This was the point that I realized I'm going to do 8s. So I started taking out all the others. So I'm not touching the 2, 4, 6, 8 and cracks at the left. And you see I've got an 8 crack there. That's my mistake. That should be an 8 dot, but I corrected it. Those 2 jokers, turn the light off again. Those 2 jokers were in my initial draw. I did not do those in the Charleston. That's a 6. I thought I got rid of an 8 dot, but I didn't, looks like. So I just started the game. I just discarded. Now I'm going to draw 3 for my 3 opponents. And that's a flower. At this point, we don't know it yet. All we need is 8 bams and 8 dots. I'm pointing to the 8 bams and 8 cracks, not realizing I made a mistake. Is it here that I realized? Yeah, I realized I made my mistake. Okay, I realized it earlier than I thought I did. That's not too bad. Good on you, Sarah. So, kicking him to the curb. And I'm checking to make sure I didn't discard in my Charleston the 8 dot that I needed. So, I wasn't as bad off as I thought it was. So, there's a south and there's an east. So, now it's time to draw for me. Those are my 3 opponents. Let's draw for me. And it's a 8 crack. See, I thought I needed those, but I done messed myself up. So I'm good. Let's draw for my 3 opponents now. Making sure everything's in view. Didn't I do good with the lighting? Look at that. I'm so proud of myself. 3 opponents. They have a something crack. Maybe 4. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe 4. And thumble fingers. 9 bam. We're just looking for 8 dot, 8 bam, and the matching dragon. Got a flower. We had Peruvian food tonight. Our neighbor down the street makes Peruvian food every few months and brought it right to our door. It was delicious. We all had a plate, my sister, my niece, and the friend that came over to play. Now my opponents. A 1 dot, we need 8 dots. 1 crack, 2 bam. Now let's draw for myself. 7 dot, we need, what is it? What do we need? 8 dots. 8 bams and 8 dots plus the matching dragon. I'm looking to see, again, I was like, are you sure you didn't discard those 8 dots? 3 opponents tiles. Let's see, there's a 9 bam, a 9 crack, 9 dot. I forgot to mention, don't forget when you're discarding, like here we are drawing for ourselves. It's a south, don't need it. We want to mahjong before we discard 24 tiles. That means we want to have, everybody's going to have about 24 turns, and you want to assume by the 24th turn either you have mahjonged, there's the 8 dot we need, but we can't claim it. You can only claim it if you have all to make the Kong. I only have 2 jokers, so I don't have enough. So there's 4 8 dots. We need 4. There's 1 that we don't have, so we gotta hope that's my draw. We gotta hope that we draw another joker or the other 3 8 dots. What do we have here? That's a 7. No, it's 8. We need that. That's an 8 bam. We need that. That's 1 less joker that we need for the bams and that we could use for the dots. So because I claimed a discarded tile, you have to immediately put it on your exposure table. It's kind of like, and then discard. And I'm discarding that over into the opponent's discard because I don't want that to count as my 24 turns. There's a 9 dot. We're looking for 8 dot. Now we've used my jokers, so I don't have enough jokers to claim that 8 dot. We got to hope we actually draw it. There's a 1 dot. Now let's draw the 3 for our opponents. We're still looking for the matching dragons to match the Kongs. So the dragon that matches the dots is the white dragon or soap. So we're looking for that square, and we have to actually draw it because it's just 1. Meaning if somebody discards it, we can't claim it because it's just 1. Now it's my turn. And I drew a 7 crack. You see that footed glass dish in the distance, really tall? That is a prized possession of mine. 2 dot from my opponent. My dad gave me that. 1 crack from the opponent. Back in the mid-90s, east wind from the opponent. He bought it at a charity auction, and he came home with it and said I could have it. So in my mind, my daddy gave me that. I just drew a joker. Look at that. That's good. So I treasure that. I think it's a compote dish. I think that's what it is. Now I'm pointing to my discards and I'm reminding, we've already got 9. We want to mahjong before we discard 24 times. So that's my opponent. There's a red dragon. We don't need that. We need a green dragon because the green dragon matches the bamboos. It's a west wind. We don't need that. We need a soap and a green dragon and some 8 dots. That's a 2 bam that I just drew for myself. Discard. So you see I'm starting a stack there. That means that's number 10. Here's my opponents. They discarded a 4 bam, a 2 dot, thumble flingers, 2 bam. Now let's draw for ourselves. There's my tumbler. Ooh, 8 dot. Good. Discard. Now we've got our 2, 4, 6, 8 in cracks. We've got our Kong of 8 bams. We've got 3 of the Kong for 8 dots. So all we need now is one more 8 dot, a white dragon, and a green dragon. So we just need those 3 items. Time to draw for myself. And I drew, there it is, the soap. That is the dragon that matches the dot suit. So all we need now is the green dragon to match the BAMs. I'm showing you there. And one more 8 dot, either that or a joker. So I'm discarding. You want to make sure you always have just 13. So I've got 4 on the exposure table plus the 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm good. I'm not dead. 2 BAM from the opponent. 3 crack from the opponent. 7 dot from the opponent. We're looking for a green dragon and an 8 dot or joker. That is a 3 crack. Three from the opponents. That is a 4 crack. We're looking for an 8 dot and a green dragon. 8 dot we can claim. We can call. But we can't call the green dragon because it's just 1. We have to actually pull it from the wall. 4 dot that I am discarding. I drew and discarding it. Let's not forget, when you draw, you must immediately rack it. I'm just going really quick. 3 BAM. I'm going really quick, but if this is a game that you're drawing from the wall, you immediately rack it. That way it kills the last discarded tile and nobody can call it, and then you lose your turn. Yes, we just called a joker. There we are. Now discard. All we need is an 8 dot. That's all we need. So either we pull it or we claim it as a discard. We will have Mahjong. And looking at the stack of tiles, I don't think we're even at 20 yet. I don't think we're at 18 yet. 6 dot, flower, 8 dot. We can call it. Oh, no, that's not Mahjong. We still need the green dragon. So that's all we need for that. That's why I made that hand for. Oh, actually, look at my nail. No, I remember what I'm doing now. I'm showing you this is a tactic. We have all we need. If I were to call that, I would have to expose the 8 dot with 2 jokers. That will leave those jokers open for anybody to do a joker exchange. So in order to keep the jokers, I just discarded the 8. I don't need it. So that was a tactic. That was a strategy. Let me pause this and say that one more time. I need a Kong of 8 dots. I have 1 8 dot and 3 jokers. That makes the 4. That makes a Kong. Somebody discarded an 8 dot. I have every legal right to claim that. But for the fact that I've got 3 jokers, it negates the need for it. It's just not necessary. If I had done that, I would have to expose it, right? So I would call for that 8 dot, lay it on the exposure table with my other 8 dot and the 2 jokers, and then discard the 3rd joker. Yes, that would kill it, but still. And then all I would need is the green dragon. Now I've got 2 jokers on my exposure table that if anybody has those 2 other 8 dots, they could do a joker exchange. Bless you. They could do a joker exchange. So to protect my hand and to further my game, I'm just not going to claim it. That way I can keep my jokers on my rack. That's just strategy for you there. So the next is a 6 BAM and the next is a 9 BAM. So let's draw for ourselves now. Drawing for ourselves. 6 dot. Now it's my opponent's and it's a 1 bam, an east, and a 7 dot. I just drew a joker, and I can't do anything with it. I can't, if I were to keep it, I would just have to discard a different joker, so I might as well discard it. I can't use a joker in place of that green dragon because it's a single. You can't claim a discarded dragon for single. However, I can for Mahjong. And that's what I'm planning on doing if I don't draw it myself. I already have my white dragon, so I don't need that. So I can't claim, and there it is. I drew it myself, so I just Mahjong. So if somebody discarded the green dragon, I can't call it because it's a single. But for Mahjong, I can. So I drew that, so it's mine. But if somebody else had discarded it, I could have claimed it for Mahjong. So you Mahjong, you say, I Mahjonged in this section, the 2468 section. I did line number, I think it's 6, 2468 in one suit, Kongs of 8 with the matching dragon, Kong of number 8 with the matching dragon. You show everybody so they can confirm it was a legal, legit Mahjong. 2468 in cracks, a Kong of 8 dots with the matching dragon, a Kong of 8 bams with the matching dragon. And see, this is my setup. There's my discarded Charleston. There's my 18 discards. I won well before 24. And to the left over here is my opponent's discards. Do you need to stack them? No. You're really not even supposed to stack them. The reason why I stack them is so I can easily pick up a stack and put it back in the bag. Otherwise, I just don't want to risk snapping or delaminating or cracking my tiles by shoving them off the table to drop into the bag. Here, if I just stack them, I can pick up the whole stack and drop into the bag. That is the only reason why I have those stacked like that. Hey, just a tip, something I learned the other day. When you're leaving, there's my little dice dish. When you're leaving an open play or something like that, offer to restack the walls to reset it. I've learned that it audits the tiles to make sure they're all there. Y'all have a good weekend. Bye-bye.